Okay, so we are here today to discuss what you feel like your needs are as far as training on Infinite Campus.
So right now, I really only think of Infinite Campus as this thing where I can get info on my students, take attendance, and put grades in. And I feel like it's much more than that. I'm just looking for a more in-depth understanding of it.
Okay.
Like I don't even know really what all I can do.
Right. Okay, so we want to figure out the individual features that would best serve your classroom.
Yes.
Okay. So I made a small list of some things that you may not know it can do.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go through and you watch me do them and you tell me if it's something you knew about or you didn't know about.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing is, did you know that you can change your structure here to different grade levels?
I did, but am I able to look at the different grade levels?
You are not.
Okay. But yes, I did know I could do that.
Okay. All right, so this is the teaching center. Okay, this is where obviously we take roll and things like that. You know how to use that. Did you know that you could scroll through yesterday's and tomorrow's things? So you could make a note on various days. Like if you're going to be absent, you can make a note there, and I'll show you how to do that.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
All right. And moving on to the grade book. All right, so with grade book, there are quite a number of things. So we're going to go through that really quickly.
Cool.
Okay, so when you are in one of your classes, did you know that you can color code your grades?
Yes.
Okay. And did you know that you can affect the sequencing and how the order of the assignments pop up?
I do, but I forgot how to do it.
Okay. All right. And on my list, I also have these. Do you know anything about these? These are the add functions where you can add folders or resources, assignments, quizzes.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Okay.
I just always clicked add.
Assignment.
Yeah.
Right. And what I'm finding is, what I'm mostly thinking about concentrating on is using this folder function, because like, let's say in your class you're doing informative writing, and then what's your next unit?
Argumentative.
Okay. So when you look at your grade book, if you only want to look at argumentative, instead of having to do this and move through, you can use a folder to put all of your informational in, and then it's only going to show you argumentative.
Stunning.
Right, but it all still goes in your grade book. So we'll get to that. And then we have the list function. Did you know about that?
No.
Okay. So you can actually affect, like you can take all of the terms off. All right, so let me write that down. What do you feel like is the most needed area? Do you think it is the gradebook functions, or?
I feel like there's a lot of tricks and abilities that are hidden in it that I just, because I feel like you show me something new at least twice a month. I'm like, oh wow, that is incredibly helpful. And then my brain forgets it because that's how my brain is. So maybe probably making the grade book work for me, because right now I know the color coding and the bare minimum.
Okay, so we know how to put the grades in and post grades.
Yes.
Okay, but we don't know how to make the grade book work for us.
No.
Do you know how to sort and filter on the grade book? Have you ever used this?
No.
Okay. And then sorting. Have you ever used this?
No.
Okay. So ascending means it progresses to your last grade. Descending is going to be, it goes down. So I can actually sort it to where, for example, my pre-tests are down here because I've already done those, and what we're working on is right up here by the name.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that'll be helpful. Okay. So making the grade book work. So that's goal number 1, is making the grade book work for us. All right. So moving on to, we don't use this.
Yeah, I was like, I've never touched
this. This is not specific to Blake Bass Middle School. Okay. However, you can print, you could use this if you wanted to. And I can show you, but this is not specific to Bass. All right, so the message center, have you ever sent messages through here?
Yes, when I had to let them know about the exam 2 weeks ago. And that's the first time. I didn't even know there were pre-made things.
Okay.
It's like I have no idea how to use it.
All right, so I will put together a little bit of thing for messages. Just a quick overview. You can choose the different kinds. So like if I just want to send an email and say, hey, don't forget to read chapters 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to send a class message. If I want to say, hey, you're receiving this because you're failing this class or this assignment.
For that?
Yes, and what it does is it fills in the student's name, the grade they got, and how to get to the portal.
Automatically?
Automatically. Yeah.
What? Okay.
And then you can also do missing assignment reports. And it says your student has the following missing assignments.
And it lists them.
And it just sends it. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Okay, and you can also send test messages, and it'll like plug in like some avatar name and send it to you so you can see exactly what parents are seeing.
Ooh, that's also awesome.
Okay, so messages is just a big blur.
Yes.
Okay. They're also, and just again, this is just a quick overview. You can go to your user group, and Blake Bass Middle School has templates that you can use specifically for Blake Bass Middle School. And then you can do teacher templates, and you can see all the templates that other people have used. So if you go, wow, I really want to send something about behavior, you could click somebody else's template and read it. I continue to have issues, blah, blah, blah. And then if this is a template that you want to use, you can use it. Now, in this example, this person clearly doesn't know how to use Infinite Campus because that's not a template. That's a specific letter to a specific person. However, there are templates on there that people across the county have used. Okay, so messages is going to be goal number 2. All right, do you need to take a breath?
No.
Okay. All right. Progress monitor. Progress monitor is something I use when I'm having one-on-ones with students. Have you ever used this function?
No. I've never even clicked on it.
Okay. So progress monitor shows your grades for first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks.
Without all the distractions and
right,
stuff?
without all the distractions. And you can also click this one student. So you can call this one student up to your desk and they can only see their stuff. and then you can go to their specific assignments and show them directly. And then all of these reports are printable and send homeable.
So is that first grade the current?
So this is the first 9 weeks that we
Oh,
have
and
on
that-
the report card,
that
and
first
this is their current grade.
Is that first grade the first 9 weeks progress report?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's their semester average right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you can actually sort it to see who has the highest, who has the lowest, based on what's going on. So this is like their running semester average.
Go, Jasmine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so progress monitor. Do you believe that that's something that you will use, or is this something that...
If I need to have like a real like come here, sit down and see what you're doing in my class moment, then definitely. Because I like that you can narrow it down to one student and then also show all of their assignments. I feel like that could be a good reality check tool.
Yeah.
So I will probably use this.
Okay. So let's see. And next on my list is a guide to flags. However, I found a couple of things that might be useful. So you know how when we were on the dashboard and you could take attendance, this is a place where you can take attendance also, but you can leave comments. So for example, if Susie was
Misbehaving.
present but not in class, so like got called to the counselor or something, you could put present, missed 40 minutes of class due to counselor visit. And that way when mom says, well, I don't understand because she comes every day and she doesn't understand this, you have the data to back up. Yes, ma'am, but she's only spending 20 minutes at a time in my class.
And
you can actually go back and retro date this as well.
so if I go back to
Yeah.
now is that Dr. Portman something you did or
No, that's
attendance?
something they did.
So attendance will also get all of this?
Yes.
And this is under
It's under attendance.
I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah. And then, like, for example, our friend that likes to go to the bathroom for 35 minutes.
Yes.
This is a good and easy documenting tool.
And we have our Susie who loves to go to the counselor.
Yes.
45 minutes. Yes.
Yay, Susie. And you can also, we'll get into that. You can also add your seating chart and it'll take attendance based on the seats as well. Okay, so do you understand all of the flags? Or is that something?
Yeah, a little bit. Can you like click on it and it tells you like the details or is it?
Yeah, so you can just hover over it. So the oranges are just things that you need to know. Okay. That it doesn't mean you have to do anything. So for example, this student right here, he can't take surveys. So whenever we have the thing, I don't know, and they make you go back to your class and take a survey with your students, he can't take those. And you can hover here and click on this and it will give you like his, Well, isn't that something that we just learned that we didn't know about the student? Okay, so it will tell you that this child is supposed to be wearing corrective lenses, only we've never seen him wear those. So we might want to address that. Okay, so there's your help and stuff. And then anywhere that is has a person, that's going to be a 504, and that means you have to find that. Now, do you know how to find those?
I know it's in their documents, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. And then red flags tell you like really important stuff.
Okay.
For example, that. And then, of course, the IEP is the checklist.
They have an IEP?
This one? And then green is gifted, and you will only see that once on our roster for him.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm gonna just add a little, as a first year student, were the flags difficult? I'm not a first year student, I'm sorry, a first year teacher. Were the flags difficult to figure out?
Not really. It
Okay.
was pretty clear because like the health one looks like has the
Did anybody ever teach you them?
no.
Okay, so it was just a,
Fly by the seat of your pants. Basically for everything.
all right,
Not
so it was
everything.
just an explore and figure out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No instruction given.
All right. Seating charts are not specific to Blake Bass. It is a district thing. So if you wanted to, you could make one. And it's got your kids preloaded, and it'll put them into rows for you and stuff. So you can choose that. You can label it, and it'll create your chart. So I find this comes in handy when I am seating for like GMAS,
Oh, okay.
because it will just do the report for me.
Okay. And it doesn't allow you to do it in groups, right?
Right. Oh yeah, you can move these anywhere. So like you could click these,
Oh.
and you can actually, you can do all kinds of things. You can actually add their picture to it when you print it, stuff like that.
Okay.
Post grades. Now I know that we talked about posting grades the other day, and I unfortunately didn't get to record it, so I'm just going to go back through it.
Okay.
We had a session last week. So last week we did report cards.
Yes.
Yes.
We passed
Okay.
it on Monday.
So last Friday we discussed how teachers can change grades based on extemporaneous and immeasurable things for students. For example, heavy participation in class that isn't graded. Teachers have the liberty of bumping a student up or down. And so when we do that, we have to go into Infinite Campus, and there's an actual process that teachers have to follow. So we have to change the grade here. We also have to change the percentage grade. Otherwise, this grade that's in progress, no matter what you click on the drop down, will not be affected. And this is also true of grade changes. When you go back and grade change, you have to pay attention to what pops up on the grade report, and then change the percentage as well.
Okay.
So that's something that we already did. So that is good.
I'm pretty good with reports because I use the blank spreadsheet to like make my reading logs
Okay.
every week.
So this is like, it's just
Oh, it shows you how many you have in each
category.
section?
Uh-huh.
That's useful.
Yes.
Okay. What section was that under again?
This is under assignment overview.
Okay.
And you can filter it by various different filters, and then there it is.
That's
if you
what I
wanted to click
need.
only on that, you can actually, we cannot change the weight, but you can actually see the weight
Okay.
of what it is.
Ooh, you can drop Lewis. Ooh. I don't do that, but it's neat.
I don't know that we have control over it. I find that specifically for our purposes, this is good to count how many pretests you have.
Yes.
How many do you have in that category? It's just an easy, accessible thing. I mean, it's just one click. And the last thing that I think that we should go through is the reports, and that's just because there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I'm just gonna concentrate on what we use here at Bass and what's important for our purposes at Bass. And then at another time, I can show you how to use these other things that are more like personal lifesavers.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Like, I think all I use on this is the blank spreadsheet.
okay.
That's it.
So here's an
Whoa.
attendance register, and you can actually see what days they're absent. And, you know, so if you have a student that's absent every Friday, you can see it. So that's your attendance report. Okay, so we have for BMS, we have the blank spreadsheet, which you said you know about.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how to manipulate it.
Yeah, I can change stuff. I know how to save certain
Okay.
stuff and all that kind of stuff.
And then this is the curriculum report. And you can actually put in here, you can print it off so that you can, if there's ever a question as to what you're teaching,
Mm-hmm.
you can say, okay, this is my assignment and this is the standard that it went to.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Especially if you're trying to see like how long you spent on something. So this was 5 days. I gave them 5 days to do Gallopade Chapter 9, and it's tied directly to economic standard, whatever. And then I can say economics. So this is just like a, I guess this would actually fall into a personalized thing. But you can, it's a self-monitoring report. And then also if it's ever needed for, let's say you're being observed and they come in and they are like, what standard is that even tied to? Or they question maybe what you're teaching. Because I know like in social studies, we have to teach transatlantic slave trade, but we don't teach the age of exploration. So I'm expected to jump directly from government to slaves.
It's a big jump.
Right. So we don't get to talk about why did we even go to Africa?
Mm-hmm.
Why did we need to start human trade?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they took out all of those like Hernan de Soto's and Cortez and I don't know, and Francisco Pizarro and Christopher Columbus. They took all that white European history, which was being taught from a white perspective. They took it out instead of changing it to reflect the reality. They just took it out. So don't let your brain explode. Yeah. And our scope of the transatlantic trade system is the economics of it all. So if I were to have a parent or a student or administration come in and see my transatlantic slave trade lesson, if there was any questioning as to why I took the route I did, I can back it up.
Okay.
Yeah. And I lost. Oh, okay. Flagged assignments. Have you ever used this?
No.
Okay, you can print out all of your missing assignments, and you can generate reports for your students.
So anybody who has missing work, it'll pop up.
Oh Lord. The longer it takes, the more assignments you have. Okay, so I have 13 kids with missing assignments.
Okay.
And this is a report just for him. You can print it and give it to him. Print it, give it to her.
Oh, it gives them a list?
I
like this.
Yes. And you can actually take out the page breaks if you wanted to, and then that puts them all on one sheet so that you can see it. And they can also see that, oh, Ms. Pack said it's just a completion grade, so I just have to try and I get a 100.
Glorious.
Yes. So that one is flagged assignments. You can also do late assignments, incomplete, turn in, and you can also print out an exemption. I use this when I have to tell Banks and Henson, don't worry about teaching this, or don't worry about these missing assignments, because I'm exempting these students from it. And I can just click it and print it and give it to them. And then they have their documentation as well.
Cool.
Okay, questions so far?
No. I like the missing report one. And that was under flagged assignments, right?
Mhm.
The curriculum one is cool. I do it like I print out all the standards and I highlight the ones I've already done.
Mhm.
I feel like that could be handy for a CYA moment.
Yep.
No questions so far.
Okay. So you can reprint report cards. You can print your rosters. If you ever want to mail something, and you have those stickers that we used for the green folder, you can print your rosters on those. That's easy. And you don't have to go through and click and type it. You can also put rubrics into Infinite Campus. So you can actually, instead of having your rubric in one place and clicking it and then transferring all that data back over, if you put the rubric in Infinite Campus, you can actually grade it while Infinite Campus is open, and it will do all the math for you and post automatically.
Can you show me how to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Let's see. It should tell you your standards as well if you need those. And then, let's see what else. You can print a student summary for your parent conferences, so the parent can see the gradebook export. And then going back to the actual report tab, maybe. If you're ever lost and you don't know what report you need, if you go to the shortcuts here, anything, I mean, you can basically see anything that pertains to grades. If you click it, it's going to pop up there.
Ooh, that is handy.
Yeah, if you want to know about attendance, there's your attendance stuff. If you want to send something home, report card, roster label, portal usage, that comes in handy when a parent goes, I check Infinite Campus every day and you haven't put anything in 4 weeks. You can go, actually, you haven't logged in this school year.
Oh, it tracks parent logins?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Gotcha, go.
Okay, and the last thing that I want to show you now is you can color code your little doohickeys if you wanted to make it, special.
I just might, because I like that. Helps my brain.
I changed them because I needed like a bright red reminder that this is homeroom and these are my classes. So I need to stop clicking on these to try to enter grades. And for your purposes, I think they have books.
Cute.
Yes. And you can change the colors. Okay, so I have 4 goals for us. Okay. And I really need to know from you if you feel like these are things that would be useful, or just adding yet another thing to the pile that won't be useful.
Okay.
Go. So the first one I have is the gradebook reports and filters.
Useful.
Okay. The second one I have is Infinite Campus mass messages.
Useful.
Okay. Progress monitoring. The one where you could eliminate the other kids.
I just need to know what that's literally called progress. I'm good.
Okay.
I got that.
Okay.
I can do that.
And then entering rubrics directly in.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll go down to 3 goals. And where we'll go from here is I will put together the guide for you, and then I will send it to you, and it'll be in the form of probably some sort of manual that can be like printed and held, so that you can go, instead of having to click back and forth, you can look with the screenshot, this is what I'm looking for.
Oh, cool.
So I'll get that manual made for you, and then what I want you to do is I want you to focus on one goal at a time, and when you feel like you have mastered that goal, let's sit back down and you show me, well, this is what I learned from your manual, and these are the holes that I think you need to fill in. Does that work for you?
100%.
Okay. So then that way we can both reflect. We can work together. You can evaluate my manual, and I can evaluate the learning process, not whether or not you get a good grade or not.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. All right.
Stunning.